When is you do you just too much?
When it's a tattoo. My full back piece. You do you. Form follows function. My rocker panel. Yeah. My MC.
Uh-huh. Which reminds me of an off-color joke or comment, which I will not make.
When is it too much? Should we take this quasi-seriously?
A long time ago, we did a monster kilt outfit, the worst possible kilt outfit. The video's on YouTube. Go check it out. I think it's we've said before, it's a critical mass thing.
Yeah.
It's not one thing. It's a combination of things that build up to a pile of suck. So.
Yeah, there's the way I've described it before is it's not a graph. It's not a curve. It's actually a circle where you can go from, on one end of the circle, or the beginning end is the Halloween costume, cheesy, you spent no money, you did no research, end of it. And then you go up and around the other end of the circle where you get to tradition. And then you go, where you have personal expression, and then you go down and then it's more tradition and you're less personal expression. And then you go over the other side where you're over the top and everything clan crest, everything all tartan all the time. And it comes back around to a caricature in an overly expensive way, but not a cheap way. So it's where do you fall on that circle? You do you is the shorthand way of saying you're allowed to express your own opinion, your own sense of style within this. It doesn't have to be cookie cutter BS Halloween costume or cookie cutter what a traditionalist would wear.
Right.
And even in that, there is still other things of you can put your own tweed into it. You can put your own Tattersall shirt with a kilt, and you can express yourself in subtle ways that make it your own. People do this to varying degrees of success. The you do you is who am I to tell that person that they're wrong and I'm right. Mm-hmm. I have a sense of tradition about it. I understand more of the conventions probably than most. I am not a perfect being. He's not a perfect being. But at the same time, we're not casting judgment on you. It's you expressing yourself within the bounds of Highland wear to whatever degree you want to be in Highland wear versus just a fashion thing.
Yeah, I think there's on the one hand, from a philosophical standpoint, if it brings you joy, do it. You can't go far with being yourself in a sense, as long as you're not hurting anybody, right? The dandies have an expression for this, which is basically knowing when you're not wearing the clothes anymore, the clothes are wearing you. That's when you know you're trying too hard. And there's Bulwer Lytton wrote a novel. It's the novel where he was the guy who came up with the opening novel line. It was a dark and stormy night.
Okay,
he's famous for that. But he did a book back in Regency period, which was basically Pelham or The Adventures of a Gentleman. And one of the things in the book is Pelham's maxims. And I wish I had them memorized because I have exactly the maxim in my head that fits this situation. I can't remember what it is. But this dandy Pelham basically explains all these different rules for how to not look like a jerk, but dress well and do it right. And it comes down to there's context is king. You don't wear the same outfit going to a minister's house or going to your mistress's house or your aunt's house. Yes, those are actually in the lines. And there are different expectations of people on how to dress based on age. You are more forgiving of a young person for outlandish fashion than you tend to be of an older person, where the default is you are hoping or people expect you to be a little bit more dignified. This is old, musty, crusty, conformist kind of advice, but a lot of it actually holds true.
Yeah.
So go ahead and look up Pelham's maxims, and we'll have a discussion on it separately. That was really, I didn't express myself well there.
No. I like where you're at with it, and I would say this. There's I forget the comedian, but I've said this recently, I'll say it again. Being young and angry, it's righteous young anger. Being old and angry, you're just the old curmudgeon guy. Being middle-aged and angry, you're just a... So I can't wait to get to the older age. Surprise. I can't wait to get to older age where I'm just the old curmudgeonly guy versus just the jerk for being angry.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
indeed.
I got it. I mean, yeah, it's follow your joy, but don't hurt anybody. And also realize that the more outlandish you're going to be, the less respect you might get from average people in the community. You know, I mean, I know I get better treatment at business establishments if I'm wearing a kilt and a tie and sharp day wear than if I go out to the same establishment wearing like a goth outfit I'd wear to the club. You know, it's just you're dealing with people's average expectations. You are not an average person. The fact that you're interested in this stuff proves you're not an average person, but you just have to be prepared for the reactions you'll get from people out there in the world.
And that also
Bottom line.
It goes back to the know the rules before you break them.
Right.
If you understand the rules, the conventions, not really rules, but the conventions are, you can choose to break them subtly in specific instances for specific reasons to express yourself.
Right.
You will be much more well received than if you're just, you know, I'm going to wear what I want, and I'm going to wear a purse as a sporn, and I'm going to wear a See You Jimmy hat, and I'm going to, you know, get this Halloween costume. Then you look like an idiot. But if you're just doing one little thing, you're wearing a brooch as a kilt pin as opposed to a traditional sword-shaped thing because it's your mother's or your great-grandmother's brooch, then fine. It's a twist on it. It's not completely throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
It's that's the first thing they teach you in art school. You know the rules before you break them. That's rule number one for art. So it applies to this too.
Agreed. Do we say you do you too much? Yes, we probably do. However, it's also true. In Highland wear, there's definitely a gradient, a scale of either too much or too little. And there's also an element of individuality to this. That's the point. Being able to express yourself and who you are through your clothes, whether it's Highland wear or not. If you dig what we're doing on the channel, please remember to subscribe. Go check us out on Facebook. Go check us out on Instagram. And as always, check us out at usakilts.com. Have a good day, guys. And remember, you do you.